Want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you have a great day with folks that you really enjoy being with and that you love, and that you get enough to eat. And also maybe you help somebody else today that maybe wouldn't otherwise. My wife has a quote that's up at the house. It's by Audrey Hepburn, and it says, "To plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow." And one of the things that I've seen that's developed in my wife's life, in case you don't know this, when I use her as an illustration, it cost me $5. This is definitely going to cost me $5. So as the years have gone by, she gardens a lot more. And I have a number of theories on that, but I just love that to plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. That it'll be sustainable, that there's going to be sunlight, that there's going to be water, that there's going to be things that will feed whatever it is that you're gardening. So that brings us to this question. In the beginning, God created man in his own image. And where was the man? Well, the man was in a garden. I'm picking up some stuff and sharing it from Jonathan Cahn in his Book of Mysteries. And what was the man? This is before the fall. What was he supposed to do? He was a gardener. So if God creates man in his own image, and the fall hasn't happened yet, and he gives him one thing to do, and that's to tend to the garden, then God must be a gardener. On some level, God must be a gardener. And the Gospel of John talks about how Jesus says that his dad is the gardener, and he talks about the pruning and talks about fruitfulness. So, yeah, I think that's pretty interesting. So God's a gardener. So what's his garden? Well, it's all of creation. And believe it or not, we're right at the pinnacle of his creation. Oh, other stuff might be more beautiful to us, but I don't know that it is to God. He created everything around us for us. It's for us. We are the pinnacle of his creation, the only part of creation that we know of that has been created in his image. So the creation is his garden. He keeps it tended. He sows it. He sows seed. He causes it to grow. He sows into the creation his word, his life, that it might bear fruit. But ultimately, this garden of planet Earth didn't really bear the fruit that he had in mind. The creation never brought forth the life that it was meant to bear. So the gardener came into his own garden, that the garden might bear fruit. Right? God came into the garden. That's Jesus. He came down. And he was the firstborn of the new life, raised from the dead. And when he first appeared outside the tomb, what did some people mistake him for? You got it, a gardener. And where was it? It was in a garden, because it was a garden tomb. Remember all that? And so what kind of tomb was it that bore the first fruit? Garden tomb. And we're continuing to, in that tradition of coming forth with fruit for God. So God's a gardener, we're his garden. And my challenge to you today is to let the gardener come into his garden. Let him plant, let him till the soil, let him put his seed in your life and bring forth new life. Because every garden that's truly touched by the gardener will bear fruit. And you know, it's not just fruit, it's the fruit you were meant to bear. And just a real simple tie-in with Thanksgiving, if you want to see more fruit in your life, you want to see God work in your life more, practice Thanksgiving. Practice gratitude. Be grateful for all things. And when you do that, man, you'll just sense God around you a whole lot more. You'll sense him working through you. And it is transformative when we give thanks. So give thanks that you are God's garden and he wants to bear incredible fruit through your life. And one other thing I always like to say about fruit, fruit ultimately is something that somebody else enjoys. I've never seen an apple tree eating an apple. Bear fruit and bless others in Jesus' name. Have a great week. Happy Thanksgiving.